My first question is, are you going to run again for president in the 2025 elections?
Well, probably yes. But first of all, we need to have an election. Secondly, I'll need to present myself in front of my party members for their investiture. And then thirdly, we'll need to be sure that we're going into an election that we can win. And those questions haven't been answered yet.
Second question. We're all very curious about the SDF, Social Democratic Front, which is your party, as it used to be like the big opposition party in Cameroon. However, it seems that the MRC, Cameroonian Renaissance Party, has taken its place. Do you think the SDF is still legit and has a chance in the 2025 elections?
Well, on the political field, the SDF is still very much present. We present, I don't want to talk about any other political party, but the one you mentioned is not present. So politics is not on social media, it's on the field. And that's where you measure the power of each and every political party, and you measure that by the number of councillors you have, and by the number of mayors you have, and by the number of MPs you have and senators. And so we're working very hard every day to be present. You have to understand that we're coming from very far. The Amazonian movement was basically created to thwart the Social Democratic Front. And so what is happening today is that we have had 2 or 3 elections, if I count 2018, 2020 and now 2023 senatorial elections, without the participation of voters in the Northwest and the Southwest. And when you look at that way, you will see that we haven't lost anything because the results we have today are those we had in the past as well. They're simply the results from this side of the Mungo.
Third question. What about the war in the Northwest Cameroon? How do you think we can put an end to it? And how do you think that the conflict will actually shape the next debate and the votes during these elections?
Well, I think the first thing that has to be mentioned is that the Social Democratic Front stands for Cameroon. We do not believe that you can solve people's problems by partitioning geographically a territory. We understand that the anglophone population has been marginalized for the past 60 years, and unfortunately, violence has come to undermine a genuine request for that marginalization to be corrected. So we are in a very complicated situation because at the same time we want the marginalization of the Anglophone Cameroonians to be corrected, but at the same time we do not agree that that correction should come through violence. So that's our position. And it's a complex position because it's not easy to understand, but it's one that you can explain with comfort to your children. It's one that you can stand for. It's one that we stand for. And if the Cameroonian people believe in quick fixes, of course, they will not listen to us. But if you want deep-rooted fixes, you need to understand that the Social Democratic Front is the only political party in Cameroon that was born on the premise of putting Cameroon on a federal track, to introduce federalism into Cameroon, that we truly give back power to the people. And we as well believe that the Jacobinism in Cameroon is the source of most of our problems. It's not the corruption, and every other thing just comes from there. And so we need to put in place as well lateral dispositions to make sure that we become a semi-presidential regime or even a parliamentary regime. That's our wish and that's our debate, and that's why we're asking for the Cameroonian people to vote for us.
Go for federalism.
Federalism, parliamentarism.
Okay, I understand.
Last question. Can you share with us any major accomplishment that you did as a member of parliament?
Probably the biggest accomplishment that people don't see is public finance. Today we have a degree of transparency in Cameroon that was never heard of. If people talk about line 94 and 65 and so on of the state budget, it's because we worked for that transparency to exist. And today people can refer to that to see what is happening. People should recall that just a couple of years back, all that information was not available. If it's available today, it's because a political party fought for it to happen. So I think it's the accomplishments are many. I'll leave it there, and I'm very proud of having been part of it. And I think it's important to understand that you cannot develop a country or progress, especially politically, if you do not put the sum of all the little progressions together.